Behind me is a brand new car that customers have only recently started taking delivery of, and they're still very rare to see on the streets. This is the new Ford Mustang Dark Horse, a 500 horsepower, 5-liter V8 American muscle car, a bona fide American muscle car with a V8 engine. Come check it out and see if you can tell what makes the difference between this and the regular Mustangs, just on appearance. Speaking of muscle cars, behind me we have an extra special Mustang. This is a Hennessey edition, one of my personal favorite brands out there that modifies cars. Can you tell me about your car, how they modified it, and how much horsepower it makes?
Absolutely. This is a 2018 GT350 with the 850 HPE kit in it, professionally built by Hennessey. She has, let's see, 858 horsepower to the crank and 778 to the wheels, which is quite a substantial amount of horsepower for this car. So, you know, to be in control of that kind of horsepower with a 6-speed is a blessing, I think, compared to an automatic, but it's all the preference of the driver and the person. But love the car, never had a problem with it. Broke one belt. I've owned it for, it's coming up on, I'm over 4 years right now, so as far as that goes, that's pretty good. And like they told me when I first bought it, like, you change the oil in this car and you take care of it, she should last. And it's got everything still. Back seat, still has the air conditioning, all the options. They said we wanted to build a car that you could take to the grocery store and to the racetrack and have it convenient. And that, I was impressed by that. Because most of the cars, they take the air conditioning out. And down in Florida, you're not going to live without air conditioning.
Yeah, and you said you've taken it to the drag strip, so what kind of numbers have you pulled with it?
Well, believe it or not, I mean, as a novice, never been to the track before. The first week I bought this car, I took it up to Homestead. I'm sorry, I apologize, to Palm Beach, and I was trying to run it on the drag strip, the quarter mile. And with terrible starts, I ran 11 twos in this car with like 0.6 and 0.7 starts, which to me, I'm sitting there watching the tree, then going, the guy's like, you got to nail it. I said, look, you know, this is all new to me. I'm all, you know, the guys, you know, with a little brushing with what, all day long, 10-second car, not a problem at all. Guys,
I mean, 11 seconds still pretty nauseating if you're not used to it.
Yeah, and this thing sounds insane. Like, and I've also took it on Homestead on the oval and hot lapped it, you know, 150 miles an hour with other cars, but still, unbelievable performance on the track as well. Love it.
So you love it. How many do you think were built?
I was told when I bought, like, this was back in 18. This was number 23, which I really was. I like the number 23. It's a popular number. Everyone loves 23. As well as I was told that once they hit 150, they were going to retire the kit, and there would only be that number specialized. So the car's plaqued inside and out on the radiator and inside the hood. I'm sorry, inside the headliner. And then I have all the paperwork at home that came with it. But they really put together a beautiful package when the work was done.
Very cool. Mind if we check it out?
Got the exhaust controls, it's got everything.
So you said you took it to the drag strip and you also took it to the circle track. Which one, in your opinion, did the car handle better for?
Well, to me, when you take it in the quarter mile, you're really beating on your car because, you know, you're really trying to run the car as hard as it can run for 10 seconds, which to me, the performance of the car came on the track. Once I put this in track mode and I was on the track, this thing was stuck to the track like you wouldn't believe. I was really impressed. And like the first time, the second time I went there, I was a little scared because, you know, people like, oh, you can hit a wall, you can blow your car up, they're not responsible. But as my performance came up from owning the car and driving it, the last time I went to the track, I blew everyone away. They're like, my God, how did you learn how to drive so good? I said, this car.
Seat time. Nothing replaces seat time.
Yeah, exactly. And getting to know the car that you own, because taking a car out that you don't know, and like I know the corners of this car and where it can go. You know, when I first got it, absolutely not. You know, it was just like the first year I owned this car, every time I started, my whole side of my body would tremble from the torque. I would get in it and I'd feel it would anticipate me just looking at it before I would take it out. But yeah, this is my baby. This is Shelby, but she's a handful. And everyone's like a lot of people ask me when I'm on the road driving the car, they're like, what's in that thing? I go, it's got a Hennessey kit. And they go, it sounds like no other Mustang I've ever heard. I said,
it shouldn't.
Exactly. My friend's like, I can hear you coming. And it's still got all the stock exhaust, the stock headers. But with the supercharger, it sounds a specific way.
Oh,
like I said. You know, shouts out to Hennessey if they happen to watch this video. Like I said, never ever had a problem with the car. Love the build, love the result.
Yeah, and come check out the interior. The interior is almost completely stock, like you said. They left all of the creature comforts, which for a heavily modified performance vehicle in itself says a lot about Hennessey's ability to modify a vehicle.
Because when I did take it to the racetrack, I said to myself, I'm running 10 seconds that day, and I raised my limiter up to like over 9. And as soon as it hit like 9, and I maybe went over like 991, the computer shut down, and the whole car went dark. And I was like, oh my Lord. I mean, you know, I didn't know this was gonna happen. All of a sudden I smelled antifreeze. The car did not sound right, which my pass was through, rolled to the end, was fine. I kind of pulled off the track and I opened up the hood. I saw antifreeze and I pulled out a belt that was 10 feet long. And they're like, we can fix it. We'll bypass your supercharger. I was like, we are not touching this car. I said, I think I blew my engine. He's like, no, start it. I started it and I was like, he's like, your belt's belt. Took a day or two to get the belt. There's 6 tensioners on there. It's not the easiest belt in the world to replace. I had even top mechanics baffled on how to get that belt on there.
6 tensioners. Like my
6 pulleys and 3 tensioners. I apologize.
Okay, that makes sense.
But
3 tensioners is still a nightmare.
You look in there, you're like, he's like, I can do it. I said, you ain't touching this car.
Yeah, and because it ripped off, you don't know what orientation everything goes in, so it's like a whole puzzle.
So now there's a map inside the glove box in case it ever happens again with a belt number on it, because they didn't even know the belt. They're like, oh, we don't even have to match this belt.
I love this. Well, thank you so much for sharing it and sharing your history with the car with us.
I appreciate that, yeah.
Thank you.